Alphabet Man, tearing down the strongholds, exposing the darkness, wrecking the enemy's plans. Endurance till the end. It's time for the Alphabet Man Live.
What's going on, folks? My name is Tom Dunn. I am not the Alphabet Man, but I got a text this morning from the Alphabet Man asking me if I could help him out today. So here I am. And before I could really even think about it too much, I said yes. So what do you know? Anyway, I am just back in town from a place called Wisconsin. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that place. I hadn't even heard of it till a month ago. I heard rumors there was a place called Wisconsin. So anyway, I went up there and I got to Wisconsin. I was on my way to a conference. Has anybody heard about the Wisconsin Christian Ministry Expo put on by Rob Pugh? That's where I was. And it was an amazing time. I'm blown away by what's going on up there. It's almost like a completely different world up there. It's so far away. I just feel like we get so caught up in our own lives that we don't even realize about these other places that exist, you know? And Wisconsin is one of those. There's a place called Marshfield up there. And I thought once I got to Wisconsin, I would be all right, but I still had to go over 3 hours to get to where I needed to go, man. I thought when I was going up there, I thought, man, I don't know if I should turn around and go home or not. I didn't know if I was going to make it up there so far away. But we made it, and it was awesome. It was not too cold, but they had a lot of snow up there. And, I mean, it was piled up so high that you couldn't even see to pull out places. But amazing people there. There was a nice little restaurant that we had pancakes at Friday morning. And my boy, he must be going through a growth spurt or something, man, because usually he could not eat 2 humongous pancakes like he did, but he did. So we went up to the Ministry Expo in Wisconsin, and I got to see some old friends and meet some new ones. Of course, Coach Dave was up there, and I saw the Hagmans. They were up there doing their thing. Pastor Mike Spalding, love that guy. And I don't know what's going on with his wife. I think she should teach some classes on how to be a grandma, because she's really good at it. She was keeping my son occupied. There was a balloon animal guy there, and this guy was making these balloon torpedoes, and they were throwing them back and forth. But I just appreciate all these guys, and a lot of people just see them, on their show or behind the pulpit or speaking. And one of the cool things about what I get to do is I get to see them behind the scenes and know what they look like when nobody else is looking at them. And these guys are the real deal, and they walk the walk. Dean up there, didn't know who he was, never heard of him, blown away by what he had to say. Let me just say this. Look up Bradley Dean. That's Bradlee Dean. Now, I haven't listened. I guess he's got a radio show. I have not listened to it, but I heard him speak. And if his show is anything like him, yeah, here we go. And he has a blog. This guy has an amazing testimony. He's a former rocker, and he goes into schools and preaches the gospel. Public schools. And you know what he said up there when, in his response to that, when people say, how do you do that? He's like, nobody told me I couldn't do it. And he just I'm just blown away by this guy. So just amazing. And we had this guy up there, candidate for Oklahoma Governor Dan Fisher. And again, I followed his campaign from Ohio. I knew this guy was running, and if I would have lived in Oklahoma, obviously I would have voted for him. He got 4th place, running for the governor with a shoestring budget, like I think it was $400,000 versus millions of dollars that his opponents had. And just what an amazing ministry this guy had. So much amazing information. I was grieving for the people up there because I felt like we had just heaped all of this info on them that kind of sometimes comes along with a burden. It's like, okay, now you got to do something about this. And I looked out at the people, and it was my turn to speak, and I just felt like I really don't want to burden you guys with anything else, because what I have to say is even worse than what you've already learned. Not only are people killing babies and politicians are corrupt and all this stuff, but the people that run the world are doing sick, horrendous things to children. And it was intense. Rob Pugh, I saw that guy and I thought, man, we need to get this guy to Ohio. I was like, forget about Wisconsin. Nobody even thinks about that place. We need him down here, man. This guy is making it happen. But praise God that God has him in Wisconsin. That's awesome. I love the fact that we have people all over the world that are fulfilling their role in the body of Christ. I got my hands full. David has his hands full. Coach has his hands full, and we're all working, and we're trying to train and to teach and to preach the gospel and to expose the darkness, edify the church. And it's so good to know that we can go up and we can help out in Wisconsin and just lift up Rob and what he's doing up there. I'm just so blown away by that guy and what he was able to do. So many people showed up, and not every single seat was full, but I don't know, was there a couple hundred people there? I don't even know. But just the fact that they were there, in my opinion, was a major victory. If just a small percentage of those people get a hold of what was given and take off running with it and do something about it, powerful things are going to happen. Wisconsin is a dark place, and I didn't realize that till I got there. I wish I would have brought as soon as I pulled off the road to where my hotel was up there, I went to the gas station. Here's another story. I went to the gas station and I couldn't find the credit card reader on the pump. There wasn't one. So I went inside and I went to give the lady my card. And she's like, well, how much you want? I said, well, I want to fill it up. She's like, well, how much is that? I was like, I don't know. Just we're going to fill it up. She's like, well, you got to pump the gas first. Man, we haven't pumped the gas first in years in Ohio because they don't trust anybody because everybody takes off. So anyway, that was like a trip back in time. So I went down that rabbit trail and I forgot what I was going to say now. But anyway, it was an amazing trip, amazing thing going on. People can take a look at Wisconsin Christian News, and they can take a look at the operation that Rob Pugh is doing up there. Here's a guy, he just wants to make a difference. And I'm so thankful for that ministry. Let it be an inspiration for you. I'm not saying you go out and start your own state news thing. Unless the Lord is calling you to do that, but you can take his example, be inspired by it, and what does it look like for you? Wisconsin Christian News, I think people need to be getting that all over. So that's not just for people who live in Wisconsin. The information there is for everybody. So anyway, blown away. I heard some people talking about when we were leaving the conference. They said, well, hey, I'm getting out of here a little bit early because, the snowstorm's coming. I was like, it'll be all right. I was like, I live in Ohio. I can handle a little snowstorm. Well, little did I know that it was going to be a complete and total whiteout. And we got on the road, and we were on the road less than an hour. And I didn't even know I was on a road because everything was white. And you know that have you ever been in a storm where the snowflakes are so big and they're coming right at you and it makes you dizzy? that's what was going on. I had a car in front of me, and the only thing that I had to guide me was that car's tail lights. And if that car would have ran off the road, I would have went right with him, because I couldn't see anything else. I could not see anything else. But praise God, we made it, and we just kept driving and driving until we got out of the storm. And I'm not a fan of Chicago. The toll roads, and it takes so long to get out of that place. But I was glad to see Chicago that, Saturday night. But anyway, guys, it's just good to know that that Wisconsin is in good hands and good things are going on up there, and that there's people up there trying to make a difference and trying to reach the body of Christ, trying to reach sinners. So it was awesome. Next conference coming up, I'm going to be in Dallas. I'm not speaking down there, but Hear the Watchman. That's going to be great. Coach is going to be down there. I met a few people that are going to be down there. But coming up in April is the Occupy Conference, and I'm so excited about this conference. Yeah, if you could bring that up, Jared. Yeah, let's scroll down for a second, and it's not too late to get tickets. April 12th through the 14th. There we are. Mark Trump was up there too. What's up with this guy, man? He pops his head up everywhere. He was just in North Carolina last week with David, and now he shows up in Wisconsin. So Mark Trump is going to be there, and Russ Dizdar, of course, myself, and we're going to have Mike Spalding, Coach Dave, David Arthur, Chad Estes. Is there another one down there? Yeah, we already said, and Mark Harrington is going to be there. Of course, the pro-life leader in Columbus, Ohio. So we the Justice Riders just got back from a trip, and we're going to show a video of that in a few minutes. But I want to bring a couple things to your guys' attention. Let's go look real quick, if we could, Jared, to Judges, and I'm going to look at verse. Let's go. I'm going to look at verse 4 in Judges 7. So a little bit more down a little. There we go. Okay, here we go. So this is the story. I'm not going to read everything here. We're jumping in here where Gideon is getting his troops together. And in verse 4 it says, "And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many. Bring them down unto the water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, this shall go with thee, the same shall go with thee, and of whomsoever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee, the same shall not go." So it was already up to, what do they have? 20,000. And he said, send away the guys that are scared. Send those guys out. And then it was, then it got down to, I think it was 22,000, and then there was 10,000 remain. So let's go to verse 5. So Gideon brought them. So he brought them down. So he brought down the people unto the water, and the Lord said unto Gideon, everyone that lappeth of the water with his tongue as a dog lappeth, him shalt thou set by himself. Likewise, everyone that boweth down upon his knee to drink. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300 men. But all the rest of the men bowed down upon their knees to drink water. And the Lord said unto Gideon, man, this gives me goosebumps, man. I love God's word. By the 300 men that lapped will I save you, and deliver the Midianites unto thine hand, and let all the other people go, every man unto his place. So the people took victuals in their hand and the trumpets, and he sent all the rest of Israel, every man unto his tent, and retained those 300 men. And the host of the Midian was beneath him in the valley. So this story just blows me away, and we can't take this story and put it on top of us today and say, okay, the Lord's telling us this. This story was for that time, but we can learn from God's word and history how he operates. He said, you've got too many. I want people to know that I was the one who delivered them. So we're going to just give me these dog lappers. That's all I need. And we are going to defeat these people here. And I'm going to give you everything. This is amazing to me. And this is an example of how God operates. So, I started thinking this up in Wisconsin. I was like, are these people the dog lappers? Are we the dog lappers? That's cool. God is going to take his remnant, his people, and do amazing things. We are up against a powerful elite who have political power, who have unlimited finances. And we're going out, we're doing ministry. David is doing his thing, and he's taking on a massive monster of the LGBTQP movement. But God is totally okay with that. He can use people like that are underfunded, right? That have no resources, right? No, we have the God who created this universe, who answers prayer. He owns everything, and he can make anything happen. I believe in miracles. And I love this story of how God chooses Gideon's army. And I think that we can look at history, we can look at God's word, and we can see what he's up to. He is faithful to take the little bit that we have and do so much with it. So I keep talking about Wisconsin, but it's just given me a new perspective. And the same thing goes with whatever state you're in. I got to spend a little bit of time with Coach up there, and we were just kind of talking behind the scenes. And I am, again, here's a guy that, if you see him on the radio, that's cool. He does a great job there, and he's such an inspirational speaker. But in my opinion, he's more inspirational when you get to talk to him one-on-one, because this is his life. This is not an act. He lives this, and we were talking about this, and I told him, I said, Coach, I go to bed at night, I wake up in the morning, I wake up in the middle of the night, and I can't quit thinking of a way to try to make a difference, and I go out on a date with my wife, and I can't quit talking about work. I feel so bad, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I got to quit talking about this, and I can't let it rest. So anyway, we are up against a great enemy, but we have an even greater God. And I just want people to be encouraged, There's good things happening. There's lots of insane things happening, but there's good things happening. I want to mention something real quick, just because I came upon it last night, and I almost kind of came upon it by accident. We're not going to watch this video, but I want to, if you can write this down and look this up. There is a YouTube channel called Mr. Reagan, okay? And he just put out a video that I thought was really good. And the title of the video, and I hate giving this person any more fame or any more acknowledgement than they already have, but I think it's important to see this video. So on your own time, when you get a chance, watch this, and just equip yourself with information. But the name of the very first video that you see there is the brains behind AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She didn't happen by accident, okay? This whole thing was a setup. And this guy here, I don't know anything about this guy. He's a conservative talk show guy. I have no idea where he came from. I've seen a couple of videos by him, and I like him. But he does an amazing investigation and explanation to where she came from. And she actually came from a casting call. Okay. She was a bartender at a restaurant not too long ago, and the Democrats put out a casting call to try to find actors to fill spots because they're desperate. And that's exactly what happened. And anything you see this woman say, it's scripted. She has handlers. People are, telling her what to do. And the Democrats admit this. Matter of fact, you know what? What do we got? I got another video I want to play. Go ahead and play a little bit. Yeah, back it up right there. No, yes, no. Where this one lady's talking. Yeah, you can see that right there. That's the one. Go ahead and play it from right there. Turn your audio on, and then you'll see what I'm talking about.
This. Because they freely admit it. They brag about it.
Back in 2016, we put out a call for nominations. We got over 10,000 nominations. Out of those 10,000 nominations, we found Alexandria.
My brother told me that he had sent my nomination in the summer, but I was like literally working out of a restaurant, and I was like, there's no way.
A casting call. They had a casting call.
Okay,
they
that's good right
cast
there.
Alexandria.
Just to show you from their own media, they admit that they picked this girl like they cast an actress, okay? She had, and when she goes off script and explains in this video, she looks very foolish, okay? She looks very foolish when she stays on script but the person behind her is straight up influenced by communist Nazis. On your own time, watch this video. There is a reason why this woman here is the most famous politician in the last year. There is a reason. It's not happening by accident, okay? They picked her because she has star power, they thought. And all this is happening for a reason, and they are going to repeat this. Guys, I hate bringing politics in it, but when we talk about politics, it's spiritual. It's spiritual because there is a force behind it, okay? And we've got to show up in the prayer closet and get down on our knees and pray, but obviously we have to show up and fight this thing as we can, the best that we can politically. And we need to have strategy. We need to know what the enemy is up to. But anyway, I want to get to the good news real quick. We've got like 7 minutes left. And Jared, if you could play that video. Guys, when I get on the show, when I do this show, I try not to make it like my show, an unorganized mess, but sometimes it is. And I just have certain things that I want to talk about. So anyway, I have my own show called Through the Black. And it's Through the Black on YouTube or throughtheblack.com. You can find it. And I don't take that show as seriously as I do this one. And you're like, what? It's even worse. But anyway, my daughter and everybody knows Lexi Hall. They just came back from this trip. This is an amazing story. If you just show up, you don't know what's going to happen. Now, this girl right here, I figured her name, but we're just going to watch this. She has an amazing testimony where she was witnessing to somebody about, pro-life, standing up for the babies. And the person that she was witnessing to went from being pro-choice to wanting to be an activist. This is amazing. I love this story. So it's not too long. So we're going to go ahead and watch this just for less than a couple minutes here. So go ahead, Jared.
So we were talking about going through all the basic points. I asked her what human equality means to her and had her give me a definition. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was basically, what you'd expect. All human beings deserve equal rights, equal protections. And then after pointing out to her that she already agrees that the fetus is a human being, she just kind of paused for a second and she's like, okay, maybe you have a point there. I never really thought about how this goes along with human equality. So she still wasn't all the way there. We had to keep talking for a while. I went through all the points again. And yeah, so she basically conceded it's wrong, but it's still a personal choice. I pointed out that's an inconsistency, and after she realized that, she's like, oh, that's not okay, you're right, that is totally inconsistent. So we kept talking about it. We went through various human rights violations throughout history. We talked about the foster care system and adoption. We talked about the pictures, pregnancy resource centers, and then ultimately I stressed the point of equality again, because that's what really stuck with her the first time around. So again, this conversation was probably at least 45 minutes, and I just kind of stopped talking for a second to let her think about that, which I normally never do. I just keep talking and talking until somebody tells me to shut up. So I was quiet, and she was like, you completely changed my mind on this. Like, completely changed my mind on abortion. And the rest of what she said was, as soon as you pointed out that equality and abortion cannot coexist, I knew that I couldn't support this anymore. You can't argue with the idea of us all being created equal, and you can't argue with these images. I'm completely against abortion now. What can I do? Which normally people don't ask, what can they do? They just want to go on their way. So I got her contact information, told her about sidewalk counseling, how there's always a big need for that. Told her even just little things like sharing pictures on Facebook and talking to her friends in these kind of situations. But the idea of sidewalk counseling really stuck with her. So she's going to try to start going out to the clinic. We have her contact information, so I'm going to try to connect her with local people if I can find any. And then I told her about the Justice Stride and the internship. So this summer she is not able to do the internship because she's in school to be a veterinarian and has summer classes planned, but is thinking and praying about doing it next year, and is planning on coming on the next Justice Stride, assuming it fits with her class schedule. So that was a complete 180, and she is now like already getting active. So that was really, really awesome for them.
Okay, that's it. Yeah. Praise God. That's amazing. We obviously, those stories are one in a million, right? Where a pro-life minister shows up on the street and is witnessing to somebody, trying to save the unborn. And the person goes from being pro-choice to wanting to be active. That's amazing. And guys, I want to share that because good things are happening. Quite honestly, the half of this country, I'm just throwing generalities out there, guys, but we know that these people are under mind control. And I was talking to Coach Dave about this the other night, and we're talking real briefly about Pharaoh. Think about Pharaoh and how God kept trying to get to him, but his heart was hard, and he just kept giving him these chances and kept, all these plagues were sent, and he said no, 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 and his heart was so hard. And the same thing with these extreme pro-choicers and these extreme LGBT. No, that's not a baby. That's a clump of cells. That's a fetus. Their hearts are hard. No, there's no such thing as gender. So, but God can soften their heart. God can make a difference if we show up. We don't know what kind of ground that the seed is going to fall on. So good things are happening. We just have to show up. As my daughter says, the need is the call. Well, you got to be called to this. Well, there's a need. The need is the call. And you guys know that. So anyway, speaking of my daughter, today is her birthday. I can't believe my baby girl is 19 years old today. So happy birthday, little girl. And just hope you guys have a great day, a great week. The need is the call. The need is the call, guys. Thank you. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank everybody for showing up in Wisconsin. And I'm just excited about what, this is March, but I don't care. Today is New Year's Day. It's going to be an amazing year, 2019. So God bless. Don't forget to pray for David and to support him. And God bless every one of you guys. Okay. And we'll see you next time.